back to our program, everyone. First item on the agenda is a poem. Not any poem, a special poem. A poem about books, about adventures, about going places where you are not moving. This poem will be read by Mrs. Kadaga. It is entitled Why We Read. Give her a clap, please. Give her a clap. Thank you. Good morning, everybody. This week we have done a lot of activities associated with reading. So let's listen to a poem now that speaks about why we read. Why we read. We read to know. When we were small, our first books were made of plastic and hard cardboard. As we got older, we got pages and pages of nursery rhymes. We read of Jack and Jill and little Jack Horner and the Incy Wincy Spider. We also got our first children's Bible. There, we read of the stories of God and Jesus and the Holy Spirit. We learned of Adam and Eve, Cain and Abel, and then Seth. We learned about Father Abraham and God's promise of many sons. We learned about how the rainbow we learned about the rainbow and how it came to grace our skies. Down through the ages, we met the people of God, those who prayed, those who fought, and those who paved the way. Then Jesus came. He came to set us free, to give us life, freedom, and victory. Through him, we have salvation. Through him, eternal life. This is why we read, to expand our knowledge and our horizons. We read to know. Let's give Mrs. Cadogan another round of applause. You can do better than that. Let's go. Why we read. Can you please tell me two reasons why we read? To learn words, yes, please. To help broaden our understanding, yes, please. It can, yes, please. Yes, please. It does help you to become smart. It also helps you, like I said in the beginning, to go places when you are not moving. It builds an imagination. I remembered watching Sesame Street. I loved Sesame Street. And there was this one thing on Sesame Street that said from Ernie, sometimes I imagine that I would like to be a knight in shining armor in a castle by a sea. And all Ernie was doing, Ernie was right there in his house. And it was building in his mind. Ernie loved books and Ernie promoted reading. Next on our agenda would be the smallest students in our school, the nursery class, performing the Gruffalo. Their book was all about a little mouse, a little smart yet brave little mouse. He was the smallest creature ever, but he was smart and he was brave. So they're going to tell you a little bit about their story, the Gruffalo. Welcome them, please. mouse. Say it louder, Kitty. She said, "No, you will not, because I am smart." Then in came the owls. Some owls. And they're are you telling that? Say it louder. Then came the snakes. Say it louder. I ate you. Did you saw the snake? Then came the big bad gruffalo. You. I can eat you. And little mouse told the gruffalo, "No, you will not, because I am brave." Now, this is a story all about being smart and brave. The little mouse did not get afraid of the fox, owl, or the. And he did not only say he was smart, but he was also brave. Then the big bad Gruffalo came. So I want you all at Eliabel's Nursery Primary School, sorry, to show bravery and always be in everything you do. Let's give the nursery class a big round of applause. Thank you, nursery. Have a seat. Next on the agenda will be the reception class, who will perform the story The Hare and the Tortoise. I think you here already know what that story is about. You have read it many times, but today reception will dramatize. They're going to show you what a hare can do, but most of all, what the tortoise is capable of doing. So let's welcome the reception class with the story of the hare and the hare and the what? Thank you. Good morning to all. Reception, are you ready to do here and the tortoise? Let's go. Fast and slow. Fast and slow. Who will win? Let's watch them go. Once there was a very, very, very speedy hare who would brag from near and far that he was faster than a car. Oh yes, once there was a very, very, very speedy hare. The tortoise turned to hare and said, "If you are so fast in running shoes, there's no way that you can lose."
Oh yes, the tortoise center here. Okay, so let's watch them do their warm-up exercises to get ready for this race. Warm-up exercises. Fast and slow, fast and slow. Who will win? Let's watch them go. Down the road, around the tree. Who will win? Just wait and see. All the animals came down to see them run.
Germani, go ahead. Put on your chain, Germani.
Ring the bell. Anna. Go ahead on your mark. The lagging tortoise very slowly crawled along. The lagging tortoise very slowly crawled along. Since the hare so quickly sped, he was now so far ahead. Oh yes, the tortoise kept on lagging down the road. Fast and slow, fast and slow. Who will win? Let's watch them go. Down the road, around the tree. Who will win? Let's wait and see. The speedy hare felt sure that he would win. Since he thought he could not lose, he laid right down and took a snooze. Oh yes, the hare felt very sure that he would win. The little tortoise kept on inching down the road. He passed a sleeping hare who kept on snoring on the rear. Oh yes, the tortoise kept on inching down the road. Fast and slow, fast and slow. Who will win? Let's watch them go. Determined tortoise nearly reached the finish line. Here, get up and go. Get up, run to the finish line. The speedy hare woke up and ran as fast as he could. Oh yes, the tortoise finally reached the finish line. Some animals cheer for the tortoise. Y'all took come back up to the top. Come back up. Potato, 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 potato. Who was the winner of the race? Potato. So he's gonna get his trophy.
Hmm? Yeah. But that was what you could make.
Slow and steady, wins the race.
Hmm?
Slow and steady, wins the race.
Yeah.
A round of applause.
Well, not here, but
Thank you very much, reception. Let's give reception another round of applause. Fast and slow. Fast and slow. From this story, we can learn you don't have to rush down everything. Sometimes taking your time is the best way to go. Next, we will have infants A performing The Boy Who Cried. The Boy Who Cried. Let's give them a big applause. Let's go.
can we see? No, I want to see the whole thing. If you could decouple ready?
Good morning, everyone.
Yeah.
Now, this story is The Boy Who Cried Wolf. There was once a shepherd boy who had the job of watching over the village sheep. In the beginning, he looked forward to doing this every day, but his feelings quickly changed. He found that every day he would just be sitting there and absolutely nothing would happen. It was an extremely boring job. So the boy tried to think of ways to make it fun. One day, he came up with an idea to trick the people who lived in the village. For fun, he ran towards the village shouting. The villagers heard his cry, stopped what they were doing, and ran to the pasture to save the sheep. Oh God. Cassia? Oh, okay. So we gotta move up. Okay. The villagers were angry that they were tricked. But a few days later, the boy did it again. Once more, the villagers ran to help him, only to find that the boy was laughing at them again. Then, one evening, the boy saw a wolf coming closer to the sheep. The boy was terrified and he ran towards the village shouting again. But they said,
Little boy, you will never fall for this trick again.
the wolf, the wolf ate the sheep and then slipped away. The boy was angry and so were the villagers. The little boy asked, little boy asked,
Why did you not help me? Why? Naughty little boy.
and from that day on, they learned a valuable lesson to always tell the truth. The end.
You naughty little boy, you told us. You told us. And what happened? Who ate them? Bad wolf ate what? Ate what around? The sheep. Yes. Oh, every last one, Diablo. Thank you. Now, I want you to understand. So this story goes to show it is best to tell the To tell the what? To tell the. Try your best to tell the truth. Let's give Infant A big round of applause. Thank you, Infant A. Next on our agenda is class one. They will be performing hands up, shoulders forward, hands on your laps, listening, listening. Class one will be performing for us the story of stone soup. Stone soup.
Good morning. Thank you. Stone soup. One day, a traveler came upon a poor and lonely village. He carried only his backpack filled with an empty iron pot and a spoon. The village seemed an unfriendly place. The streets were empty and every window and door was locked. The traveler was tired. He was hungry too. He walked to a house and knocked on the door. He thought he heard someone move inside. He saw a person move, but no one answered. The traveler did not give up. He walked to another house and knocked. This time, a woman and a small child came to the door. I'm looking for a place to rest my head and a bite to eat. The woman said she did not have any food for a day. You should go on to the next village. The traveler smiled and said, my, you're in worse shape than I am. Not to worry. I will happily share my with you. All we need is water for my pot and a fire. The traveler gathered water and wood, and the traveler started the fire. Started the fire. Soon they had a fire and the water in the pot began to boil. The traveler pulled 3 smooth stones from his pocket and dropped them into the pot. Plop, plop, plop. The woman could not believe her eyes. She asked, yes, said the traveler, it is quite delicious, although it would be a bit tastier with salt and herbs. You may have some salt and herbs from my kitchen. As the traveler added herbs and salt to the pot, the door of a nosy neighbor opened. A man came out. What are you doing? It would be quite delicious, although it would be tastier with a few vegetables. The neighbor thought to himself, I have some vegetables. The man added carrots, potatoes, and other vegetables to the pot. The smell of the soup lifted into the air. A window opened, and a man called down to his neighbors. are you doing? He asked. The traveler said, traveler is so busy making this soup. The traveler said, making stone soup. It is quite delicious, although it would be a bit tastier with some meat. The man said, I have some meat. I happen to be a butcher. And so the traveler added meat to the soup. One by one, the villagers opened the doors. Each brought a little something to add to the stone soup. When the pot was full, the villagers came. The butcher and the nosy neighbor, and offered bread, butter, and other goodies. The traveler shouted, this meal is fit for a, a feast, a king. The villagers and the travelers sat together and enjoyed the delicious meal made from stones. Their tummies full of food and their hearts full of joy. They declared to one another, who would have imagined such a meal? The stones must be magical. The traveler answered, it's not magic. It is stone soup. Here is goodness. The traveler answered, no, this is no magic in the stones. Each of us just shared a little, and together we made a feast. When the meal was over and all the dishes were done, the traveler filled his bag, collected his pot and stone. With the help of the neighbor, at dawn, the traveler continued on his way. The villagers all waved and shouted thanks until he was eventually out of sight. A little child asked, what shall we eat today? And the woman shouted, let's make stone soup. Let's give our traveler Rakai hands a round of applause. Mother and neighbor Talia Blackman, her child Cameron Chase, nosy neighbor Jelani Ralph, butcher and Nari Jordan, and your narrator, Miss Welcome. Let's give them a round of applause. And from this story, class one learned that if you share a little, then you can create something delicious, in this case, a delicious soup. But if we share and cooperate, that we can work to achieve what success, we can work together. Thank you.
Miss Welcome said it all. If we work together, we can achieve many great things. Thank you, class one. Give us a round of applause once more. Bigger than that, come on. Thank you. Class one will be followed by class two with the story of the Emperor's New Clothes. Round of applause for class two, please. Give class two a round of applause, please. Thank you.
Let us hear your lesson. Xavier.
Once upon a time, in a land far away, there lived a beautiful empress who loved clothes more than anything in the world. She had a different outfit for every hour of the day, and her collection of clothes was famous throughout the land. The empress spent hours each day looking at herself in the mirror, thinking she was the most stylish and fashionable ruler in the world. One day, two clever men, two clever men came to the land, saying there were special tailors and weavers who could make the most beautiful fabrics in the world. They told the empress that their fabrics were so magical and special that only people who were smart and worthy could see them. The empress was excited and thought this would show everyone how great she was. The tailors set up and started weaving their machines in the palace and pretended to work. They didn't use any thread or fabric at all, but they moved their hands as if they were making something amazing. The empress sent her most trusted helper to go and check these fabrics. The helpers, afraid to admit that they couldn't see anything, went back to the empress and told her that the fabrics were incredible and described the wonderful colors and patterns they had seen. News of the tailor's magical fabrics spread through the land, and soon all of the townspeople were talking about these new clothes with great excitement. The empress arrived at the tailor's, and the tailor showed her the empty weaving machines and pretended to point out fabrics. The empress, not wanting to seem foolish, pretended to see the fabrics and admired them with great excitement. As the days passed, everyone in the land eagerly waited for the empress's new clothes. The tailors pretended that they were weaving them, and no one dared to say that they couldn't see anything. The empress's pride grew with each passing day, and she was sure she would soon wear the most magnificent outfit in the world. Finally, the day of the grand show came, and the tailors pretended to give the empress her new clothes. They held up an invisible shirt and an invisible pants and cloak, and describing every detail as if they were real. The empress, feeling uneasy but not wanting to seem foolish, took off her clothes and pretended to put on the new ones. The tailors praised her, and everyone cheered, marveling at the empress's new outfit. As she toured through the town, everyone was marveling at these new clothes because nobody wanted to see as if they couldn't see it. Finally, a very honest child pointed to the empress as well engaging. They sang out, "The empress does not have on any clothes." The crowd fell silent, and the truth started to sink in. The empress had been tricked, but the clever tailors who played the trick were never seen again. The empress was embarrassed and ashamed. She quickly covered herself and returned to the palace. She had learned a valuable lesson about being too proud and the importance of honesty. From that day on, the empress promised to be more humble and a truthful ruler. She gave away all of her clothes to the needy and vowed to rule with kindness and fairness. The tailors, they were never seen again in the land. They disappeared with the riches they had tricked from the empress, leaving behind a lesson that everyone would remember for a long time. And so the story of the empress and her new clothes became a tale about the dangers of vanity and the importance of seeing things as they truly are, even if it's uncomfortable. Thank you very much.
hope you know what I'm going to say now. I know you know what I'm going to say. What do you think I'm going to say now? Nobody knows?
Yes, Mr. Leotame. Come to me.
So let's do it. Thank you. Can anybody in the audience please tell me the name of that story? Thank you, Jadira and class. Which will lead us on to class 3 with their tale of the empty pot. Give class 3 a round of applause, please. The empty pot. What is it, Xavier? The empty pot. You need this?
Good morning, everyone. I think my voice is louder than the microphone, so I'll try my voice. Our story is called The Empty Pot. Once upon a time, a very long time ago, there was a Chinese emperor who loved nature. The emperor was getting old, and it was time for him to choose who would be the next one to rule China. Since this emperor loved nature, he decided to use plants to help him choose the new leader. One spring day, the emperor called all the children in the kingdom together.
Children of my kingdom, I am getting old, so today I'll be deciding one of you will be the next Chinese emperor. So today I will give each of you a very special seed. Whom take good care of it. And a year later, I want all of you to come back to the palace and show me what you have grown. And then whoever has the best flower will be the next Chinese emperor.
The children and their families were all very excited, but no one was more excited than a little boy named Ling. Ling loved nature as much as the emperor. He loved to work in his family's beautiful garden, and he knew how to take care of plants. He was sure that he would grow the most beautiful plant of all. Come, 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 come.
I will go the most beautiful flower and become the next emperor.
Day after day, day after day, Ling watched and waited. Day after day, Ling watched and waited, but nothing grew in his pot. Soon the other children started talking about their sprouts and seedlings. Ling began to worry about his seed. He transferred it to a new, bigger pot, which he filled with fresh soil. He kept watering the seed carefully, but still yet nothing grew. Weeks passed the months, and at last it was time for them to go back to the king after a year's time. Finally, spring came, and all the children of the kingdom put on their best clothes and they returned to the palace with their plans. Lee was worried. That worrying? Tell us why you are worried. Hard, hard.
I wonder what the emperor will say about my empty pot. I tried my best. He will probably say I'm a failure. I watered my plant and I shared it to a bigger pot and I gave it lots of sunlight and fresh water. I even tried to it, but it still won't grow.
His mother saw what he had done. She came to encourage him.
But only because you said you're a failure, that does not mean you're a failure. Be glad that you at least tried your best. Today you'll probably be the emperor, but maybe one day you'll probably be a nice, good, and good working emperor. Be glad of your hard work.
As the emperor, the sweet smell from all the flowers filled the air at the palace. The emperor was frowning. He went one by one, looking slowly at every bloom. Finally, he came to Ling, holding his empty pot.
Why have you brought me an empty pot today?
Yeah, yeah, honey. I tried my best, and I tried my best. May you give me the seed? I hold my planted it in right away. I and it wouldn't grow. I gave it lots of water, sunlight, and I even sang to it, but it still won't grow. So today I bring you an empty pot.
Children, what I didn't tell you that I boiled all the seeds before I gave them to you. So some of these seeds were not been grown if y'all didn't switch the, the seed with other seeds. This boy right here was the only honest child. So no, he will be the new Chinese emperor.
Yes, son. I told you that if you will just be honest, you'll at least get something good in your life. Look at all the wonder children. All the wonder lies. At least my son was not a liar.
It pays to be honest.
Thank you.
Thank you, class 3. It pays to be honest. Boiled seeds. Who would have thought about doing that? Not me. Next, and last but not least, will be class 4. Their story is the three little pigs. Yes, please. Give class 4 a round of applause. Thank you, Bobby.
morning, everyone. My class chose the Three Little Pigs because this story resonated with them because of hard work, showing that hard work pays off. So, here is our story.
One day, our big gamer says that they have to put the house on their own.
Excuse me, a little louder.
One day, Mother Pig told her sons and daughters that they had to find a house of their own. So the three brothers went off to find a good spot to build their houses. The three brothers sat to work, hammering, banging, and building. Soon the straw house was built. Bill was very proud. A wolf came to the town where the brothers lived. He was very hungry. He knocked, he knocked at the door of the straw house.
All right, audience, I want you to huff and puff and let's blow the straw house down. Ready? Huff and puff and blow the house down.
Wolf and he puffed and he blew the house down.
Well, we'll be safe in here.
All right, you huff and puff. Let's go again. Let's huff, huff, and I'll puff, and I'll blow your house down.
The wolf appeared down the venture and brought into it the pot of boiling. He gave out a terrible yell and let out the within his bottom. The three little pigs never saw the wolf ever again, and they only flee ever after.
The house blow down. The house blow down. Which house got blow down? Which one? The house of straw. The house of sticks. So who are you going to say was the smart little pig here in this story? The third little pig. And his house was built of what? Bricks, yes. So I want you all to continue being smart little boys and girls and make the right choices. I guess I was wrong. We still have one more class to go. Which class did not get to turn? Advance B. Let's welcome Advance B with their story of Jack and the Beanstalk. Give them a big round of applause. Thank you. After which we will have our vote of thanks by Miss Welcome.
All right, hands up, shoulders, hands up, wiggle your fingers high, hands on your lap, and let's give infants be your undivided attention. They're last now. I know you're getting restless, but they're expected to dramatize their story for you. And I will read their story, Jack and the Beanstalk. Once upon a time, in a quaint little village, there lived a young boy named Jack. Jack was not just any ordinary boy, he was known for his adventurous spirit and a heart full of dreams. His mother, a kind woman, worked hard to make ends meet, but their life was filled with struggles. One day, their only possession, a cow named Milky White, stopped giving milk. With no food on the table, Jack's mother decided it was time to sell Milky White. Reluctantly, Jack set off to the market, but on his way, he met a mysterious old man. The man offered Jack 5 magical beans in exchange for the cow. Jack, intrigued by the promise of adventure, accepted the trade, much to his mother's dismay when he returned home. She was furious and threw the beans out of the window, believing they were worthless. That night, something extraordinary happened. Extraordinary happened. The beans took root and grew into a colossal beanstalk that reached high into the clouds. Jack, filled with curiosity and excitement, decided to climb the beanstalk. Up, up he went, up he went, until he reached a land above the clouds, a place filled with wonders and dangers. In this magical realm, Jack stumbled upon a giant's castle. He cautiously entered and was amazed by the treasures inside: gold coins, sparkling jewels, and a magical harp that played beautiful melodies filled the room. But as he admired the riches, he heard a loud thud. The giant had returned home. The giant had returned home. Jack quickly hid, holding his breath as the giant entered. The giant, a fearsome creature, bellowed, "Three, 5, 4." I smell. Jack's heart raced, but he remained hidden. The giant sat down to eat what his wife prepared, and he feasted. He pulled out a hen that laid golden eggs.
How many?
Jack's eyes widened with greed and wonder. As soon as the giant fell asleep, Jack seized the opportunity. He grabbed the hen and the magical heart, carefully making his way back to the beanstalk. But just as he was about to escape, the heart cried out for help, waking the giant. Jack hurried down the beanstalk. The giant hot on his heels. Down the beanstalk Jack went, the giant hot on his heels. Jack reached the ground and called for his mother. With a swift chop of an axe, he cut down the beanstalk just in time. Cut down the beanstalk.
You're following, Sarah. Sarah, follow.
The giant fell with a thunderous crash. He disappeared into the earth below. Jack and his mother were safe, and the golden hen provided them with endless wealth. However, after a few years had passed, Jack knew in his heart what he did was wrong because he stole what wasn't his. He could hear the giant crying. Since the beanstalk had been cut, it separated them. Jack used his remaining beans and grew another beanstalk after returning what was stolen and saying sorry to the giant. So Infant B wants you to know that this tale of Jack and the Beanstalk reminds us that taking a leap of faith can lead to adventures. The inclusion of strong morals like love, empathy, kindness, honesty, and bravery can shape our daily lives while building positive characteristics. Infant B, step forward and take a bow, and let's give them a round of applause. They were so bold and brave, performing their piece in the absence of their teacher, who is not here to guide them through, but I think they did an amazing job. Give them another round of applause. Right? Boys and girls, did you enjoy watching each other's performances? Give each other a big clap. Yes, it takes much courage for you to come up here and perform. And I want to tell you that you did a good job. And with practice, you will grow from strength to strength. You will find out and discover new skills that you have, and you will get better. Now, at this time, there are a few people that we need to thank for this week's activities. Now, I want to start by thanking the Literacy Week donors or contributors. We had a week of activities, and various people and organizations contributed in different ways. The Church of God in Boscobel and Mrs. Tashina Bob, past PTA president, we have to say thank you to them. J&M Auto Parts and Spike Song, Wabisco, Affinity Plus Credit Union, Lynch Insurance Brokers, and Acado Barbados. Those are the organizations and the people who would have contributed some of the things that you got throughout the week. Now, the literacy committee members, they're the ones who planned the entire week and executed. So I have to say thank you to Mr. Wickham, who's not here, to Ms. Dawson, Ms. Phillips, Ms. Boyce, who was also a wonderful MC this morning, Ms. Maynard, who's not here, but she would have helped with the planning. I want to say thank you to the literacy committee members. Let's give the teachers who planned this week's activity a big round of applause. Maxine, give your teacher a round of applause. She worked so hard with you in class and also planning these activities. All teachers were being cooperative throughout the week, working with your children alongside committee members. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Mr. Roach for assisting with our TikTok video that we shared, for working with the PA system, taking photos throughout the week, helping with almost everything. Mr. Roach, we appreciate you. Mr. Greenwich for assisting in various ways. Miss Griffith, who assisted with decorating and other ways as well. Miss Jordan, who was a judge and scorekeeper earlier this week in our spelling competition. Mrs. Duggan, I know she's off doing some collecting some stuff, but we want to say thank you to her for providing our YouTube stream for the past few days for this week. Miss Harris for assisting in various ways, but especially on Monday when you got things ready in the yard for the launch. Thank you so much. Mrs. Hurley Herbert, where are you? In front of me. Thank you for assisting in various ways throughout the week. We are so appreciative of your help, Mr. Baker, for always preparing the grounds and keeping the place looking nice, for being a wonderful MC. I know we thank Mr. Stokley Murray this morning. Children, thank you for your performances. Class teachers, thank you for preparing them. Parish Independence Committee and Mr. Belder, thank you for always supporting us. We're happy to have you in our presence. And parents, those who are taking time out to view online, we have to say thank you as well for supporting your children and encourage you to continue to support them. So anyone who assisted in any way today and for all of the week's activities, we here at Elliott Belner Primary School, we are very appreciative of all that you do to support us. Let's give everyone a big round of applause.
Thank you, Ms. Malcolm. I want to say thank you once again to every person present today. Now, I'm going to ask our principal, Mrs. Wilkinson, to kindly give the closing remarks.
Thank you very much, Ms. Boyce. This was Literacy Week 2026. Let's give all the participants a round of applause. I must say that this version was different. There were different features. We showcased different skills of our young people. And I do want to say thanks to Ms. Welcome, who, as the chair of the Literacy Committee, she coordinated all the activities and she made it possible. And it was, for all of us, for the students, a resounding success. Let's have a round of applause for Ms. Welcome for her organizing. Now, I want to say, boys and girls, that you did an excellent job this week. When I looked at the goals that we had for you, as persons interacting with you, we could see that there was comprehension. Children memorized, they shared, they were able to bring answers and perspectives to the different stories as they were questioned by the participants who came in. And we can see, I could see evidence of learning, deep learning throughout the week. I heard you drawing conclusions about the moral lessons and making inferences. And these are the comprehension skills that we want you to take away and to use when next week when you face those exams. We want you to use those skills. Read, analyze, understand the author's purpose. Look out for bias. Draw conclusions. Because when it is your own thinking, once you can provide the evidence of that thinking, you get credit for that. You had opportunities to model, to showcase different aspects of our literacy as you showed your, demonstrated your, what was written on your t-shirts. It was a very exciting week. And of course, we did have those students who demonstrated their oratorical skills in the Speak Off and Shine. The future of Elliott Belver Primary School is secure,
as long as you continue to develop those skills and to practice them. Shimani and Tishiri and Ariana, look this way. Listen, we have come to the end. And you know the children can do their parts, they do their parts faithfully. But without the viewing audience and the audience present, it would not have felt as special as it was. I'm thankful today that we've had the parish ambassadors. That's important. I welcome you. We appreciate your presence. I've sent you an invitation to the next event that we have coming up shortly. Of course, you are welcome to bring your team as well for that bigger celebration that we're anticipating. All right? And may God continue to bless you and crown your efforts with success as you represent Barbados a little later on in the year. St. Peter. Yes. Represent St. Peter at the level, at the national level. Parents, I'm very happy to see you. I know that many of you came in yesterday for the open day, but I was called away to a meeting at the ministry. I had to go, and I'm sorry I missed that, but I'm glad that you were here to support your children. And for every activity that we had during this week, at least one parent was present. And I want to say thanks to all the parents because you have entrusted your children to us, and we're doing the best to ensure that we return them to you literate and prepared to operate on a national level. Let's give all the parents present and those who follow us online a round of applause. Finally, boys and girls, this was about you, your growth, your development. And we're hoping that these tiny tales that you explored and memorized and dramatized and applied this week, that they will live in your minds and then you will take that knowledge with you, understanding how to apply the skills, but also taking that knowledge into life, the values, the moral values that were given to you, that you apply them so that you can become the kind of global citizen that we're encouraging you to be. For all of you, let's give the children now a round of applause. Young children, you can applaud for yourselves. Thank you very much. We're going to have an early lunch today.
Yes, please.
And it will be an extended lunch.
Yes, please.
Because we're going to start us now 11:30. And once you leave here, you're clearing the space. You're taking your chairs back into your classrooms. And you're going to have that full half an hour